Today is another Sonoff product review, and this time I'm reviewing the iFan02 fan controller from Sonoff, and this product was supplied to me free of charge by iTeed for the review of this video. And what we have here is a specialized, let's say, Sonoff Duo device which is designed to control a ceiling fan which has a light. So it has two outputs, one for the fan and the other one for the light. And for this product we are also getting a remote, so not only that you can control your fan from your smartphone, but you can also use this remote if you want to control it locally. So in this video I'm going to unpack and set this device up and show you the basic operation. The iFan02 comes in an unusual box. I mean, unusual is not the usual slim Sonoff box, but I think we can understand it why, because there are quite a few things in here. So if I unpack first, there is a warranty card, there is a small instruction manual which is for some reason is German, and I don't even think is this for this specific product, but again the pairing process and all those things are the same for all of the Sonoff devices. And now we have a separate document which is definitely for the iFan, and as you can see it talks you, well, this particular one is in Chinese, yeah, the other side is English, and it goes through the setup process. When I originally unpacked this and I have seen these two probes here, I thought that one of them would be a temperature probe, but actually that's the Wi-Fi antenna and the RF antenna. And you get a remote as well, and you can see the connections here. So you have input live neutral, and the output you have a common neutral, and you have two live output, one for the light and the other one for the fan. And yeah, that's about the instruction. The remote is like this. So it comes with a, what is it, a 2025 coin cell, and you have a couple of buttons for the different speeds and the light. And funny, it just has a volume off button, and this sync button probably is not used for this particular application. And if I unpack the iFan02 itself, yeah, so as you can see it's quite a bit larger than the normal Sonoff ones. Let me just, I have a POW, okay, not quite a bit smarter, it's slightly bit bigger than the usual Sonoff package. I'm not sure why they decided to have the antennas outside, maybe because some of the fan enclosures would be metal, so you want to get some decent reception, and that actually might be quite nice if that also increases the Wi-Fi reception in general. So I will see if that is true or not. And then you have the connections here, so that's probably the two, yeah, the input live neutral, and then on the output you have a fan and the light, and you have the common neutral. And yeah, you have the labels here as well. So as you can see, 2.4 gigahertz, the fan is 500 watts and the light is 1250 watts, so 2 amperes and 5 amps. I think that's very decent, and that's pretty much it. You have a button to pair the remote, and that's it. As you can see, I have added the iFan02 to my Sonoff test jig, which is pretty much full at the moment. To the fan output I have put a small plug in which I've actually plugged the fan in, and that's the only fan in I have in the house. I don't have those usual ceiling fans that I assume this is designed for. And for the lamp output I've connected to this lamp. Interestingly, when I power it on, the fan is off, which I think that's what you would expect, but the lamp on by default, so I guess this is how it's just programmed. There is no button to control the output here because this button is to pair the remote control. So let's do the setup first. For the setup of the iFan02, I just disconnected the lamp so it doesn't blind the camera. But the first step we need to do is we need to install the battery in the remote control. I think it's a little bit tricky to get a battery in because if you put it in, it doesn't stay in place because there's no holder or anything like that. By the way, you open the battery cover with a coin. So what I did is I put the battery into the cover like this, and I tried to slide it on top of the case and try to align the marks, and yeah. So it is quite a fiddly job, but I managed to do it after a couple of tries. It looks like I was incorrect when I said in the past that this button is used to pair the remote control to the unit, because it appears that it's already done. So I just installed the battery, and after clicking on the light button, I can control the light. And if I click on the other one, one of the dials, I can control the fan as well. It's not clear for me if it really works in different speeds, because I mean, it might be my fan only, I'm not really sure. But my fan also has a speed control, so it's set to maximum speed. And if I press 1, yeah, it works. Number 2, I don't feel it's being any quicker or more powerful. And strangely enough, number 3 is like a low speed for me. But it works. I can control the speed even though it's not 1, 2, 3, but I seem to have only 2 speeds. 1 and 2 is high speed and 3 is low speed. But again, it might be just this particular fan only. There is a buzzer button on the remote, and you notice that whenever I operated the fan, there was also like a beep whenever I changed the fan speed, or if I turned it on and off. If I press this buzzer button, then nothing happens. But now if I operate the fan, it just works without the additional buzz button, the buzz sound. And so basically you can turn this notification sound on and off using this button. So now I turned it back on. And now the unit is working with the controller, so everything is working. I didn't have to do anything, just put the battery in. What's next is to pair this iFan control with the e-wheeling application. So the instruction says that you can pair it using the pairing button on the remote, or there is a manual pairing button on the device as well. And I'm going to hold this button on the remote for 7 seconds. That's what the instruction says, and we should see the unit beeping 3 times. Okay, so now we can start the pairing process. Okay, so I had to mute the video because this beeping was really annoying. But the device is paired, and I just rename it to fan, and I complete the pairing, and yeah, it is available. So I have 2 devices or 2 buttons that I can control. This was the fan, so that was the first button, and the second one should be the light. Yeah, easy peasy. If I go into the controls, I get nice graphics with the light and the fan control, and also have the speed control. On the button I'm getting the functions that are common to most Sonoff devices, so sharing, so I can share this device to another user so they can control my unit as well. I have the schedules, so I can set up either the fan or the lamp, turn on and off at a specific time. Okay, that is interesting because it only shows state on and off. It doesn't say whether it's the lamp or the fan, so I'm guessing it must be the fan, but I have to give it a try. And the timer one, again, you can set up a timer, so if you turn on the fan, you can set this timer to turn off automatically after like half an hour, 1 hour, or 2 days, whatever. If I go back and click on the double 3 dots on the top right, those are the settings. So there is not much in the settings. I can rename my fan, and I can check the firmware version, which is the latest version 2.6.0. So that's all fine, and I can delete it from my account, and the information, I just get this Sonoff iFan02. So let's see how we can control it here. The life is quite self-explanatory. Just you click on the light, and then you can click on the fan, and the fan comes on. And it also shows the speed. So probably you can tell from the sound that I'm getting the same results as with the remote. So 1 and 2, low and mid, appears to be high speed on this particular fan, and high appears to be the low speed, and the smart doesn't really do anything. I don't really want to go into what each of these actually mean, because they might be different for different fan types, you know, if it's different type of motors. And obviously I can't really test all of them, so I guess you just have to figure it out how it behaves with your particular fan or motor or any other device that you want to control. I want to test this schedule function, so I set up a schedule that repeats every day, and 11:37 it turns the fan on. It says that it's successfully and it's enabled, so in a couple of minutes we will see what this does and whether it actually turns the fan on or the light or both of them. And I'm assuming, similarly to other devices, the on-off basically brings the device back to the same state as it was set the last time. So if I remember correctly, before I switched the fan off, it was in the smart mode. So probably if it turns on, it's going to be in the smart mode again, which again, I'm not really sure what smart mode means with this particular unit, but well, it just seems to spin fast, just like in speed 1 and 2. And not quite what I expected, but it looks like that the schedule actually controls the light and not the fan. So if I set up a timer, let's say that in 1 minute I want to turn it off, and I execute the timer, so that, oh sorry, yeah, the timer is running, then after 1 minute I'm guessing that the light will turn off. And yes, it does. So after 1 minute the timer turned off the light. So the schedule and the timer function only works with the light and not with the fan. I quickly swapped the fan with this simple table lamp, which has an LED bulb in it. So because I wanted to find out if I can use this controller to also control other devices, not just motors. So if I turn it on, it comes on. If I change the speed, then nothing really happens. And I'm not totally surprised by this, because most of the LED bulbs, especially the cheaper ones, which work in universal voltage, they're usually not dimmable. And I think this is a good test, because nowadays we are using more and more LED lamps. So we can't really use this iFan control to control the brightness of LED lamps. And now I have changed the bulb in the light to a compact fluorescent tube. And if I turn it on, this is the type of bulb which takes some time to warm up. So I think we have to wait just a little bit. So it is set to speed 3 at the moment. So now I can see that the bulb has warmed up nicely. I think at least it does at the moment. So if I change the speed, speed 1 and 2, I don't really see any difference. If I change the speed to number 3, well, unfortunately I don't see any difference either. So with this type of compact fluorescent tube, it doesn't seem to be making any difference, unfortunately. Surprise, surprise, I just managed to find a lamp or a light bulb at home which is using a normal filament light bulb, and it's portable, so I can bring it here. So we can see if we can use this to control the light and control the brightness of the light. So if I turn the fan on, the lamp comes on, so this is light low setting. So now, oh okay, it actually became dimmer, I don't know why, I haven't really pressed anything. So in mid, yeah, it becomes brighter. On high, it definitely becomes brighter, and on smart, well, yeah, I don't really know what this smart does, but it becomes dimmer. But definitely using the low, mid, and the high settings, you can control the brightness of a regular light bulb. And again, I'm not really sure if this is realistic. I mean, we are not really using light bulbs anymore, but maybe if you have a dimmable fluorescent light, or maybe a dimmable LED, it's going to work just like this. Last, I quickly wanted to check what options we have available in the scene mode. So I just created an empty scene, and I want to see what sort of conditions the iFan control or the iFan device gives us to control. So if I say that the master trigger device is the fan, then at least we can set up a trigger based on whether the light is turned on or the fan is turned, well, either on and off. Well, we can't really select speed, but I think that's right. So if the light comes on or if your fan comes on, you can also, you know, control another device. For example, have a like a Sonoff basic to, I don't know, control a heater or something like that. So that's fine. And on the conditions side, again, we have the fan. Obviously, if the fan is a trigger device, it can't be the action device as well. But just as we expected, we can either control the light to come on or the fan to come on. So I think this is a good case to combine the fan control with a TH1. So you have a TH1 and you also have a fan or an iFan, and then basically say that if the temperature reaches a certain level, you can set the fan to turn on the fan, well, the iFan02 to turn on the fan. Of course, well, the TH10 might also control the fan as well, because it also has a relay output. Note that you can control the speed from here. I mean, so with the scene, you can also only turn the fan on. You can't really say that, you know, the fan should turn on speed 1 or speed 2 or speed 3. So it would just come on at the same speed what it was set the last time. But at least you can control them. So you might have this device and the TH2 in completely different locations, so you can't physically wire the fan to a TH1. So you can just have two of these devices and set up a scene so one controls the other. So I think that's completely plausible. And the last test that I wanted to do, I wanted to see if that external antenna makes the Wi-Fi reception of the iFan02 any better than any of the other devices. And as you can see, all of them are online now, so I just moved them upstairs into the second floor where there is weaker Wi-Fi reception. You can see the TH1, the Touch and the T10 only have 2 bars on the Wi-Fi signal, but if I scroll up to see the fan, that also has just 2 bars. So unfortunately it has the same sort of signal strength and reception as all of the other Sonoff devices. So that's not going to help you in sort of like hard to reach parts of the house where other devices might not be able to connect to your Wi-Fi. And that concludes my review of the iFan02 fan and light control from Sonoff. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.